Shedeur Sanders, the Cleveland Browns' third-string quarterback, is at the heart of a firestorm that's less about his arm and more about his last name. Former Browns player Phil Taylor dropped a bombshell claiming NFL owners and coaches conspired to tank Sanders' draft stock because he's Deion Sanders' son. Selected 144th overall in the 5th round of the 2025 NFL Draft, despite projections as a top 5 pick, Sanders' slide was shocking. His college stats: 3,926 yards, 27 touchdowns, 74% completion at Colorado, plus 3,732 yards and 40 touchdowns at Jackson State, scream elite talent. Yet Taylor alleges the NFL recoiled at Deion's flashy legacy and Sheduer's confident persona, misread as arrogance. Is this bias against a young star's lineage and style, or legitimate critique? As Sanders battles for reps behind Joe Flacco and Dillon Gabriel, the debate rages. Was he doomed by his father's shadow, or is he poised to prove the league wrong? Taylor's claims cut deep. Sheduer because of Prime, he said on a podcast, pointing to Deion's brash persona as a stain on his son. They saw Shedeur's style, gold chains, watches, and called it a problem. Yet Taylor insists Shedeur is one of the classiest guys in the 2025 rookie class, a 23-year-old navigating a spotlight he's known since childhood. Deion, a Hall of Fame cornerback and Colorado coach, taught Sheduer discipline and work ethic, installing a backyard turf field to hone his craft. All Prime did was show him how to be a pro, Taylor argued. Still, the NFL's old guard seemed spooked. ESPN's Bart Scott echoed this, calling Sanders' slide a deliberate snub by teams who ignored his film, 4,134 yards, 74% completion in 2024, for questionable reasons. Scott warned that front offices bypassing Sanders, an ideal fit for QB-needy teams like the Giants or Saints, will regret it. Some GMs will lose jobs, he predicted. The narrative around Sanders' draft fall is murky. Critics like Mike McCoy, a respected quarterbacks coach, labeled him brash and arrogant at the combine, a comment that rippled through the league. Colin Cowherd piled on, slamming Deion for hyping Sheduer without instilling humility, accusing the family of ego-driven optics. Cam Newton, on First Take, questioned Shedeur's accomplishments, suggesting his success at Jackson State and Colorado came from convenient setups under Deion's coaching. He shies away from challenges, Newton claimed, implying Shedeur's stats, 64 touchdowns, 13 interceptions over 2 Colorado seasons, were padded by favorable systems. These critiques shifted focus from his tape to his persona, with headlines fixating on attitude over athleticism. Anonymous scouts didn't help, one telling NFL Network Sanders takes unnecessary sacks and had the worst combine interview, alleging he acted entitled. Another AFC executive said Sheduer made us feel small in meetings, yet the numbers don't lie. Sanders led the nation with a 74% completion rate in 2024, threw for 4,134 yards, and endured 52 sacks behind a shaky Colorado line, showcasing toughness. His 1.9 assist to turnover ratio and clutch throws like a 5-10 yard, 4-touchdown game. Against TCU, rival top picks like Cam Ward, number 1 overall. Still, 5 quarterbacks, Ward, Jackson Dart, Tyler Show, Jalen Milroe, and Gabriel, went before him. Deion's influence, steering Sheduer from Jackson State to Colorado and bypassing a traditional agent, fueled skepticism. His public comments, like vowing an Eli Manning draft day maneuver to avoid certain teams, alienated owners. It's not just football, an NFC executive told USA Today. Deion's involvement hurt him. The Browns, taking Sanders at 144, saw value but weren't planning for 2 QBs after drafting Gabriel earlier, per GM Andrew Berry. Baseless. Taylor and Scott suggest a deeper agenda. Deion's flamboyance, gold chains, bold media presence challenge the NFL's conservative culture, and Shedeur's style, like wearing a diamond-studded watch during games, echoed that. They don't like Prime's flash, so they punished his kid, Taylor said. This mirrors historical scrutiny of confident black quarterbacks. Cam Newton's dances were arrogant. Lamar Jackson's dual threat style was doubted. Sheduer, with Deion's shadow and a $4 million NIL empire, became a lightning rod. Still, some argue it's not bias, but business. Sanders' 94 college sacks raised red flags about his pocket presence, and his combine interviews, reportedly dismissive, hurt. It was talent-based, an NFC exec insisted, citing good, not great arm strength and slow reads. But when Ward, a black quarterback, went number 1 without issue, claims of systemic bias weaken per Ansky. In Cleveland, Sanders is proving doubters wrong. Teammates rave about his character. He's a pros, Amari Cooper said, noting his huddle command. He bonds with Flacco, laughing in the locker room, and pushes receivers like Cedric Tillman in scout team drills. His preseason flash potential: 14 of 23 for 138 yards, 2 touchdowns against Carolina, but exposed flaws like 5 sacks against the Rams. Still, his 2 for 3 session against Myles Garrett in camp earned first-team reps, a sign of his work ethic. He's not here on hype, Mary Kay Cabot said, praising his maturity. Fans agree. His number 12 jerseys outsell Flacco's 10-1, and free Shedeur trends weekly. But Coach Kevin Stefanski plays it safe, sticking with Flacco, 62% completion 2024, and Gabriel, 272 preseason yards, to avoid a QB controversy. After a 3-14 season, Stefanski's job is on the line. A 5-12 projection for 2025 adds pressure. Rush Sanders, and a flop risks his career. Delay and fans revolt. The NFL's history with disruptors fuels suspicion. Baker Mayfield started as a rookie despite raw mechanics. CJ Stroud got Houston's keys instantly. Sanders, with better stats, faces a higher bar. If Flacco stumbles, say, week 5 against Baltimore, Sanders could spark a movement. A 40-yard touchdown would ignite Cleveland. A pick could bury him. His arm, flashing 30-yard lasers in practice, promises fireworks, but his 15 college interceptions versus Gabriel's 12 demand polish. Deion's presence, a ratings magnet for networks like Amazon, complicates things. The league craves Sanders, but wants control. Taylor's plea is simple: let him play. As Sanders waits, the Browns risk squandering a star. Will he rise as their savior or join Cleveland's QB graveyard? Drop your take below. Is this bias against Deion's legacy or fair critique? Comment prime time if you're all in.